Cool. So here's how to open up any of the software that we're using. Put your mouse down to the very bottom of the screen and click on it. Now I'm taking over your computer, so you won't be able to do this with me. After a while, it'll start bouncing. It'll log on to everything, and it will open up your screen. Give it just a second. Cool. So here's kind of a quick overview of the Adobe software. Whenever you open it up, specifically InDesign, you may be greeted with this little welcome screen. All it's asking you to do is, do you want to open up maybe some recent files that you've worked on, or do you want to make a new file? In my case, I'm just going to make a new file, and I'm going to fast forward through this just so we can have a screen to look at once we start working with it. In any of the programs that we're going to be using on the Macintosh computer, does anybody have a Macintosh? Y'all use Apple? Cool. I assume everybody else maybe doesn't. First time using it. Anytime you open up a program or you use something, look at the very top of the screen. These are our drop-down menus. So when I say go to a menu, like the File menu, you can see all the little controls that happen for this particular program. So I'm in InDesign. So things like printing, making new documents, and saving are found in the drop-down menus. And so whenever I say to go something, this is where you'll go. If you do see a little arrow icon, that just means there's a little more things that you can do once you start selecting things. If it's grayed out, that just means you can't use it. If it's not, that means you can use it for something. In all of the software, you'll have a toolbox. So when I say to grab a tool, this is where you'll find it. It's usually over to the left-hand side of your screen. If you hover your mouse over it, you'll get the name of it. So what's the name of this tool? Selection tool, direct selection tool, type tool, all of these different things. When I say go to your toolbox, this is where the toolbox will be at. The middle of your frame, sometimes this is your document, sometimes I'll call it the page. This is whatever that you're working on. Right now I just got kind of a blank document going on. The other thing for InDesign and Photoshop is whenever you select a tool, at the top up here you'll have some options to work within. So for instance, my selection tool, I can change up things or I can move things around. Let's see if I can get one. Here's our type tool. Type tool allows me to change the font that I'm working with, change up the size and change alignment. So when I say go to the tool options, all of this is going to be at the top of your screen. And the final thing is the palettes. These are usually off to the side. These give you even more control over different things. When you click on a name, it'll pop out. So if I wanted to change a color, here's where I can select something and change color of a palette from there. Very, very easy, very kind of intuitive to work with. I'm showing you this now just so you know where to find things when we work on this first simple project. What I'm going to do, I'll close this out. I'm going to send you this info sheet InDesign file. Check out the icon that it is. ID, InDesign, right? Easy to remember. For Photoshop, sometimes it'll give you like a little picture icon, but for InDesign files, that's what these look like. If I double click it, it should open up in InDesign. InDesign is kind of like Microsoft Word. You can use it for multiple pages, you can add pictures, you can add text together. For this first project, all I want to do is get basic information from you. I want you to open up the document. You're going to use the type tool, and I'm going to step you through this, don't worry. And then go in, you can click next to it, and type out your answers. All cool? Once you've filled out your information, and I know these you'll probably have to like circle or whatever, I want you to print it off. Here's one thing you may want to make notes of, how to print. When you go to File, go down to Print, and this will bring up our little print dialog box. I want you to print to the black and white printer. We've got a color and we've got a black and white printer. If I'm not mistaken, this one should not charge you if we do it. And if it does, we'll work through that as well. When you hit print, we'll go through. We'll hear it kick on. Let's see if it works. There it goes. Cool, awesome. Notice it didn't ask me to log in. If it asks you to log in, that means it'll withdraw from your PaperCut account. It didn't do it for me, so hopefully it won't charge you guys either. So this will be a free print to print it off. Once it's printed off, sign your name, fill out the rest of it, y'all can turn it in. You are free to go after this one. All cool? I'm not going to leave you empty-handed. Everybody goes home with a car. Here's the next thing I'm going to send to you. These are the class notes from today's lecture. Like I said, I give you the notes that you need. This kind of gives you an introduction to using the Macintosh computer, where to find things. I'll be kind of covering this a lot more. Here's how to use the folders and how to find different things. Let's see, how to open up. Where is... thought I had something about InDesign. It's cool. I'll give it to you next time. But I will give you these first little notes to work from. So, I'm going to give you this file. You're going to double click on it. It's going to open up in InDesign. Which tool should I use over here? Type tool. The little T that's located right here. With the type tool, you can just click. You can get a little blinking cursor and go to town for this. Where do I go to print? File. Down to print, just like you would for any other one once you're finished. I'm going to hit cancel and not print that again. Again, I'm sorry our Moodle page isn't up right now, but hopefully next class period it'll be all good.